Hi, Mike. Thanks for making the time to meet with us. I know how busy you can be. Um, Everyone, just wanted to introduce Michael here, Michael DePeazer. He is doing extremely well in his industry. He's trained with Glen, also does his own training. I think you train, what, 100 stores, Michael?
Yeah, 100 plus.
Yeah, hundreds of finance managers, product advisors, and things like that. So, hey, really appreciate you giving us some details on what it was like getting trained by Glen, how that influenced you going forward. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and your success that you've had, after meeting and training with Glen?
Yeah, I guess first and foremost, I graduated from university in 2004. I had my commerce degree and I just couldn't find a job. So I thought I'd find a stopover job. And I
Mm.
handed out my resume a bunch of places and I ended up in the car business. The idea is I didn't know how I'd be selling cars after having a university degree, but I thought, hey, this is temporary. This is just little short-term stuff.
Mm.
Then I noticed every Saturday we had to be at a training session. Everyone from all the different stores had to gather up to the training session. We'd go to a particular store, which was Toyota, and we'd have a training. Now that trainer was Glen Damon.
Mm.
What he'd do is he'd train us on process, mindset, and basically how to sell cars. However, when you really looked at the depth of it, he didn't really teach too much of how to sell cars per se. He taught life principles which translates into selling cars.
Mm.
It's funny because I have a philosophy that people don't have business problems. They have personal problems that show up in their business. So he was able to do was help that person change their mindset around that sale and be more productive in that
Mm.
sale, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically I was in the industry for ended up being 5 years in car sales.
Mm.
I would have quit if it wasn't for his training. And the specific reason why is it gave me reason to be in this industry
Mm.
because I don't believe in being anywhere where you're not continually growing. If you're not
Mm.
continually growing, you're burning. I don't care what you're doing. So he gave that reason that, hey, you're selling cars, but you really get this mindset piece for free. So I stayed for that. And eventually, after staying, I got to produce, obviously following the process and doing it right. I got to be a top producer, and that led me into where I am today, which is, I guess, a dream role for me. But
Mm.
if not for him, I wouldn't be here today because I would have probably quit.
Great. And
Legit.
can you describe what the Glen Damon training is like, what it feels like to be there and what you get out of it?
He's a lively guy, man. He's authentic. He is passionate. He is enthusiastic. He inspires people. His body's in it. You could tell it's all the energy. I always say it's never is what you say. It's how you say it. And he's the guy who, when he says something, you just want to listen. You just want to hear him. You could sit there for an hour hearing what he has to say, and he puts so much love into his material that you get something from it each time. So yeah, the experience with him is just it's raw, it's authentic, it's inspiring, it's motivating.
Great. And Michael, I mean, you're training hundreds of managers yourself now. How is what Glenn has taught you and trained you, how's that impacted your training with all the stores and all the finance managers, product advisors that you work with?
Huge for one to even be able to do what I'm doing today. It's often that I feel like, our own experience is very limiting. So it doesn't allow us to necessarily see a big picture of source.
Mm-hmm.
How do you plan for something big when you have been seeing little all your life? I don't know how else one could do that, right? And believe in their plan. So when I was in that training session with him every Saturday, what I was able to see is somebody getting up in front of people who's enthusiastic and actually inspiring them. I always believe that you can't really train people. You can't really get them to learn, but he actually influenced me to the point where I took notes from all his training and I made a training manual for sales staff based on his notes. So what he did was inspire me to see that big picture and know that, hey, I could probably do this. How could I do it? I don't know. Who would hire me? Not sure. But it's a vision that I always kept in my mind. And later when I left my position as a finance manager after being a finance manager for 10 years, I thought, you know what? Maybe this gives me an opportunity to explore that avenue. So
Mm.
long story short, I had a hypothesis. I wanted to train on process and mindset like Glenn. Company hired me and their Manitoba stores went up 40%. The rest was history.
Mm.
So I'm able to inspire people and encourage them, but I was able to see that through him and he allowed me to kind of shape and mold my position. So it's quite amazing actually when I think about it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Michael, I know how busy you are. I won't keep you any longer. Thanks for giving us the background on that and appreciate the time.
Thank you very much.